All right, guys, today's lesson is going to have a lot to do with this concept right here. Today's quiz, you have to make sure you focus on this idea of x-axis reflection and y-axis reflection, okay? We're going to go over it real quick. When you look at these points here, those are those green points right here. See A, B, C, D. Now notice it's now C prime, D prime, A prime, B prime, right? This image flipped. It's almost like it turned the page down to this bottom spot, okay? Just like this image flipped over to this side, okay? But let's look at the coordinates. You see these coordinates, we talked about this yesterday. Notice all these x values, if you go down here, they're the same. But the y values are the same numbers, but they've changed signs, okay? They've changed their signs. So x-axis reflection, the x stays the same. X-axis reflection, the x stays the same, okay? Now, y-axis reflection, the y stays the same. Notice the rule even, the y stays the same and the x changes from x to negative x. But what's interesting here, these are negatives, the x, and then look at down here, they've become positives. So don't just think, oh, it just turns negative. No, if the answer or if the original is negative, then it's going to go turn positive. And what do you notice about all the y's? The y's are still the same. Y-axis reflection, the y stays the same. Y-axis reflection, the y stays the same. All right, now let's do a practice one. So you may see a problem. It'll say like point A, and then it'll give you a coordinate like -2, 5 is reflected over the y-axis. Where is A prime? Okay. Point A is -2, 5 is reflected over the y-axis. Where is point A? It's going to be multiple choice, but when you're looking at this, make sure you understand, you know this is your x and this is your y. We've gone over that a ton, right? Where is A going to be? A prime. So you're going to take this coordinate, and what kind of reflection is it? It's a y-axis reflection. So y-axis reflection, the y stays the same. Y-axis reflection, the y stays the same. So what stays the same? The y. So that's part of your answer, okay? And then what else? -2. Okay, the y-axis, the y stays the same. Does the x stay the same? No, the x is going to have to change. So that's where A prime will be, okay? Easy peasy. You can do this. You can do this, okay? All right, what if I said, I wonder if it'll let me, okay, cool. Let's do, not over the, oh, let's do it this way. All right, over the, let me do another. Let's just say it's reflected over the x-axis. And where is A prime? And let's change this up a little bit. Let's go -4, -5, okay? Now, once again, it's an x-axis reflection. X-axis reflection, the x stays the same. X-axis reflection, the x stays the same, okay? And the y is going to change. X-axis reflection, the x stays the same, the y changes. And the y is going to change, and that's your new answer for A prime. All right, guys? Cool. Now, let's see. If you see a problem like this today, you're going to see one. It says write out the rule, okay? So when you're looking at this, sometimes these rules, and it's multiple choice, so it's going to look like this, some of the rules, and then have an arrow. Let's see if I can make that a little bigger for you guys to see. All right, and then it's going to be like, what's the new rule? So you're starting at A, and you're trying to get to A prime. We've done this all week, okay? We're going to the right one. If you had to write it out, right 1, down 3. That's cool. That's great. But that's not written in your algebraic, is the fancy words. You got to write it in an algebraic rule. You got to write it in a rule. How do you write x plus, or right 1 is x plus 1. Everybody get that in your head. right 1 is x plus 1 because this is the x-axis. The x can only go right or left. If you go right, it's positive. If you go left, it's negative. And then down 3. Down is the y. And down, if you're going down, that's negatives. If you're going up, it's positives. Boom. Okay? And there's your answer for that one. All right, let's see if I can show you one more that you may see. Okay, cool. This is not the actual question. The actual question will be like here, and I'm going to type this out if I can. Let's see. It'll say, let me see if I can do a better, brighter color. The question's going to actually ask you, it'll say, if triangle, let's make this a little, if the triangle is reflected over the x-axis, where will point maybe G prime be? Okay? Now look at this question. If the triangle is reflected over the x-axis, where will point G be? All of you yesterday were able to reflect this. You guys had no issues. You were going to put, and let me go ahead and do that real quick to show you there was going to be no issues. It was going to be G, T, and B. And if you were to actually write these out, you would have put G prime. Some people did get fancy with the letters. This is going to be T prime, and this is going to be B prime. Okay? Now, where is G prime? It's multiple choice. You're going to have to be able to tell me where is this coordinate. The answer would be, where is this at? -1, -2, -3, +1. -3, +1 as a point. Okay? All right, you guys, right now, Miss Knapp, I want you to go ahead and let them do the quizzes for about 7 minutes. At the 7-minute mark, even if you don't finish the quizzes, I want you to stop, shut your computer down, log it back in, get into the Illuminate Lockdown browser, and put in the test code that's on the board. Finish that test. Once you're done, I need you guys to do the actual extra credit, the whole entire quizzes for an extra point or two on your quiz. All right, guys? Do the best you can.